Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel Astro Assurance. All our houses and all our signs in the horoscope have been given certain characteristics, certain meanings and certain manifestations. And when we try to analyze a horoscope, we try to look at it from various angles, from the angle of our earnings and saving from the second house, our reputation, our standing in society from the first house, from the Lagna, the effort, our self-enterprise, communication from the third house, and so on. And there is some special meaning given to each of the houses. Now, one thing is there that what is the reason for our existence? The reason for our existence is to serve humanity, and in the serving humanity and through the experiences in serving humanity, we undergo a self-realization, and through the self-realization we elevate our souls, and ultimately through various phases and stages of self-realization we ultimately reach moksha. And so serving of humanity, self-realization, and through serving of humanity and through the self-realization, through living those experiences, we ultimately reach moksha and we serve him also. Now, but one thing is there, while each of the houses and signs have been given special designations of a house of earning, a house of commitment and partnership and being in a relationship through the 7th house, a house of karma, of work through the 10th house, and so on. One thing is surely there, that each house also allows you to take a crack at helping the soul move up, helping the elevation of the soul. So whenever we do selfless service in the manner of any house or in the direction of any house, then it is always an opportunity for us to elevate our souls through that service. So serving to anyone which the house denotes, is that to a selfless service will help elevate our soul. So if you are helping people in the arts, through artistic endeavors, through public performances, then the third house, the fifth house comes into the picture. If we are doing service through the sixth house, helping the people, the needy, the sick, and all those who are in trouble, then the sixth house comes into the picture. So each of the houses also comes into the picture in terms of helping our soul elevate. And of course the Lagna, by dedicating the entire life through selfless service and to helping others, we may be able to reach the self-realization and elevate our soul through selfless service all our lives. However, three houses have been specifically termed as the moksha bhavas. These are the 4th house, the 8th house and the 12th house. And a lot has been spoken about the spirituality of the 8th house, the mysticism and the secrets of the 8th house, and a lot has been also talked about the moksha giving ability and the karma equalizing ability of the 12th house. However, not much is spoken about the 4th house in terms of how it can be a strong moksha bhav as well. While it is designated a moksha bhav, but usually we look at the 4th house as a house of materialism also, with all your wealth, all your tangible resources all denoted by the 4th house. So while it is easy to designate a house as specifically for this and that, it is not easy to relate the house to moksha, especially if others have been associated to moksha strongly. But how is it that 4th house is also a strong denoter of moksha, if not the only one to denote moksha? Firstly, the 4th house has been called as a moksha bhav. So if the four houses from the Lagna all denote one perspective, so we have the first house denoting dharma, second house denoting artha, third house denoting kama, and the 4th moksha, and so on. So then the 4th house is anyways designated as the moksha bhava, but it is also strongly related to materialism. But while it is related to materialism, it is also designated as the house of our domestic happiness and our mental peace. So what is being told to us? What we are being told is that your domestic happiness and mental peace will come to you strongest when you also have the characteristics of serving others, not only related to the fourth house, which is your own family, serving your own family. The Grihastha Ashrama is of course strong, is of course important, and the Grihastha Ashrama has also been called as the ashrama which is the most important, leading eventually to salvation or moksha, and that is also because of what it means, what it represents. But it is also important in the mannerism of the fourth house to serve others in line of what the meaning of the fourth house is. Now, while Grihastha Ashrama is a serving of immediate family, living those experiences, it is not an easy house to deal with. The simple reason being is, when you are in a domestic life, you have too many things to take care of. If you are single, then you have only to feed yourself, you have to take care only of your health. Sometimes we may not bother so much, we may not be very ambitious. But when we have a family, we have a spouse, we have children, we probably have parents who are dependent on us, and because of them, the social life also becomes important. We meet more people, we go and visit more people, more other families get involved with us, and so the dynamic increases, and hence we have less control of our social lives, and the family and the immediate family controls it more, and hence the association with others also increases, and hence the responsibilities that come through the fourth house, the challenges that come through the fourth house life, being in this domestic environment, and the issues of children's health, children's education, children's admissions, children's own ups and downs, their teenagers, then spouses, expectations, then taking care of the family, and through them the expectations of the extended family, they are not easy to deal with, and so it's a challenging house. And to keep our morals intact, to keep the feeling of nurturing and supporting intact, which is represented by the fourth house, and to keep our principles also intact while we do all of this is not easy, it's a challenge, and hence fourth house has been deemed as, or the Grihastha Ashrama has been deemed as an important house and one of the most important houses which leads towards moksha. The Grihastha Ashrama is also about the committed relationship with the seventh house denotes. However, the extension of the seventh house is your physical home which you make with your spouse. So if spouse is represented by the seventh house, relationships are represented by the seventh house, the physical home in which you live and manifest the life, the conjugal life, the domestic life, the life with kids and your extended family, all are represented by the fourth house. And so fourth house and seventh house and the second house, all three are important components of the Grihastha Ashrama, but the fourth house is the most important component of the Grihastha Ashrama in terms of the variety of experiences that you need to live out, the variety of experiences that you need to face, the challenges that you need to face in that. And hence most of our life, if you see, goes in handling issues of our lives, immediate life, which relates to us, spouse, children, parents, siblings, more than the outside. And the outside also contributes only to the inside. So our work that we do is to support our families, to support their expectations, to support our own needs rather than needs of the organization which is employing us. So the fourth house is an important house. It is a very, very critical house in terms of different areas of experiences and challenges that we need to face, and through those challenges, excelling in those challenges and still being somebody who is principled about it is a very, very strong chance for us to elevate our souls through self-knowledge, self-realization, and moving our soul up and elevating our soul. But there are other things also which make the fourth house very important. Which planet or planetary entity or heavenly body represents our soul? It is the sun. The sun gets the Digbala or the highest directional strength in the 10th house, which means the house opposite to the 10th house is where the sun gets its lowest directional strength. So if the sun being at its zenith represents the 10th house, then the sun at its lowest is represented by the 4th house, which is also the midnight hours, which means that the soul goes to sleep in the 4th house, and the soul goes to sleep and comes out in the other realm only when it attains moksha. So it's a very, very strong point of giving sun the highest directional strength when it is in the southern direction, which is represented by the 10th house, while the 4th house, the northern direction, is the house where the sun attains its maximum rest. The soul gets its rest, and hence the 4th house is also important related to moksha. The other thing is the house which helps our journey onwards is designated as the 12th house, the strongest house of moksha and the final sign of Pisces before the spiritual elevation happens, house of solitude. When we are no more in the life in this world and we move, we go alone, and that's why moksha is also represented by the 12th house. But the highest gains of a house are from the 9th house to it, and the 12th house is the 9th from the 4th house. So if 12th house denotes moksha, then the gains of moksha come from what you do about the 4th house, and hence taking care of the grihastha ashrama and helping others lead their grihastha ashrama well is important, which means that supporting an individual is not as much bringing you the punya or the goodness than supporting a family. So when you help a man stand on his feet and help his family have a good life, you help others also have a good domestic life, you help others when they face domestic challenges, you help others come together, you help other families unite when they are close to a breakup, then you attain the highest amount of punya, you attain the highest amount of karma, and hence the 4th house is also the house directly opposes the 10th house. The 10th house is represented by the Saturn energies, and the 4th house is represented by the moon energies, the nurturing. So discipline, organization, commitment represented by the 10th house, and nurturing and salvation and taking care of and empathic nature all comes from the 4th house. So sharing of energies and complementing each other's energies through a dedicated service to the grihastha ashrama and others grihastha ashrama is a very, very strong point related to the 4th house and hence to moksha itself. And why is this important? Why this Saturn and moon energies are important? Because Saturn is a house, Saturn is a planet which also represents the Shudras. The Shudras are the 4th caste in the hierarchy, and the Shudras are ruled by Saturn, and hence Saturn being the karmic equalizer, if you help the lowest of the low rung people in helping they have a family life, good family life, because many times what happens, these people are serving us to serve their families, and if you pay them enough, you pay them on time, you pay the fees of their children, you ensure that their children go to school, you help them have a good life, then it is also as if you are helping them in their domestic life, in their grihastha ashrama also, and hence serving Saturn is directly equalizing your karma, improving your karma, shedding your karmic debt. So if you want to truly shed your negative karmic debt and add the maximum karmic debt, help a family sustain, help a family have a good domestic life, help the lowest of the rung who work for you, who are below you and who serve you in some or the other way, they have a good domestic life and they are able to sustain themselves, and they are also happy or peaceful, and then through that you serve the grihastha ashrama most. The grihastha ashrama is not only about serving you and your immediate family, but also serving others, and through that you attain the highest form of spiritual elevation. People think that salvation is attained through celibacy or giving up everything and leading the life of a yogi. Nothing is further from the truth. The truth is leading the life of a domestic person, living the grihastha ashrama, facing those challenges, facing those experiences, being able to sacrifice for our closest ones, yet not reneging on our principles in trying to get them a better house, a better car and so on, and not sacrificing those principles and helping others, the lowest of the low rung, while keeping a principle intact, is the truest form of being a yogi. and that is a pure karma yogi. And to be the karma yogi, know that you need to give up on the challenges and issues faced by the 4th house when you are chasing materialism. So don't chase the materialism of the 4th house. Chase happiness, chase peace, chase helping others. Make helping others apart from your family your goal, your important goal. And only when you can say smile on other people, the lowest of the low rung people, helping them to have their own good domestic life, have their own sustenance, is the best form. So your Grihastha Ashrama and your help in helping others do their Grihastha Ashrama, where is not chasing materialism but chasing duty, responsibility, and helping the closest of the close and helping others is important towards moksha. And this is also important from the karma point of view, because the immediate family are all those who are tied to you through a karmic thread. Somebody who is a spouse in this life may have been some other relationship in some other life. A sibling to you, a sister in this life, may have been your mother in the earlier life. So keeping the domestic peace intact means you are also equalizing the karmic debt, because you may be carrying the debt to your father, to your mother, to your sister, to your spouse, to your children. And hence that's why Grihastha Ashrama is so important, because then you are giving off the karmic debt of all these important relationships while being true to your principles, helping the lowest of the lower rung who are represented by Saturn, and through that getting gains of the 12th house, with the 12th house being the 9th to the 4th. So look at helping others who are below you, who work for you, or who are poor of the poorest of the poor, the domestic servant, the maid who comes to help you, the people who work under you, or the plumber who comes to fix some tap in your house, or the carpenter who fixes some furniture in your house, or the driver who drives you around. Take care of all of them, help them also have a good Grihastha Ashrama, and through the Grihastha Ashrama open the doors of salvation and moksha. So friends, like this video, share this video, and if you are looking for a personal consultation for me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Until some other time with some other video, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.